Today's show is sponsored by Diane Kleins, an independent associate with Legal Shield, offering legal services starting at $29.95 and identity theft starting at $19.95 a month. They provide a will, living will, assist with moving violations, contract reviews, consultations, and more. For more information, contact Diane Kleins at 214-881-5225 or go to the website dskleins.ladiesofjustice.com. Hey, we are back with another wonderful week of the Intro Podcast, and I'm excited to have you guys listen. Do me a favor, share this episode with everybody you know, whether it's on social media, email, text message, whatever. Get the word out that the Intro Podcast has a new show available. Do me a favor, if you're not already, follow us on all social media under the Intro Podcast, and follow myself at I am Trevain, TREVAYNE. Let's get into the show.
I don't have to explain a damn thing to anybody in that locker room. The only person I answer to and the only people I answer to are my fans. Been with me since I was 22, through the ups, the downs, the firings, the titles, all the way until right now. And the truth is, I am going to stop being the savior. I'm going to stop interfering in fights that I didn't start in the first place. I've been doing it for years, man. And between my own business, everyone else's business, my responsibility outside the ring, I'm showing up and fighting at less than 100%, and I'm done with it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Taz. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Intro Podcast. Right now, we're solo dolo. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but we're solo dolo. But we still going on with the show. Shout out to everyone who has been listening and supporting for as long as you guys have. Let's get right into it. That excerpt that you all just heard came from WWE Monday Night Raw. The wrestler, his name is Drew McIntyre, one of my favorite wrestlers. Yes, I said that out loud. But there's not too many wrestlers or too many times someone gets in the ring and say something that sticks with me as much as this did. Keeping in mind, I think this happened at least 2 weeks ago. And it's sticking with me, and I've been playing it back even before I even wanted to do a show about it in my mind for just personal reasons for me, myself, for me, because I found myself in the same situation. Drew, as he was saying, he's been what we call in the hood Captain Saberho in the WWE world, having to come to the rescue of other wrestlers who probably were not as good as he was fighting against particular people. And in an instance, whenever he had to be the main person in the ring fighting, because of everything that he'd done previously, he was not 100%. Let me give you all an example. Let's say it's a Friday night before one of the big matches on the weekend, and someone's in the ring fighting, and it just so happens that Drew McIntyre has to come from the back and help that particular wrestler that's getting beat. And while he's in the ring helping them, the person who the other guy is fighting, starts beating the crap out of Drew. It takes all the energy out of Drew, the hurt, the pain, and everything that's needed for the next day. So he gets in the ring the next day to fight his match on the big show, on the big stage, on the big screen, where millions and millions of people are watching. But not only that, but the people are attending also. Because of what happened the previous day, Drew don't have the physical capability all the way to do what he needs to do to win this match. In some cases, yes, he still wins. But then there are some cases where the previous battle that he went through that wasn't even his causes him to lose a match and it's a title match. It's a match where after you win this match, you can get endorsements and money is up and you get more opportunities to fight. Yada yada yada, yeah, all that. But because of the previous night, that match that wasn't even his, that he jumped in to help somebody, he lost the opportunity because he couldn't go in 100% because he had battle scars from fighting Roman Reigns. My mom was the biggest Roman Reigns fighter. I promise. We sipping on something today also. Said all that to say this. In life, we are, in some cases, just like that. We'll get into it right after this. Hey, what's up? And we are back with the intro podcast. I'm your host, Taz. We are talking about, as we say in the hood, being Captain Saberho, or just urges to want to help everybody. In the previous soundbite, you heard Drew McIntyre talking about him not wanting to be in the ring, to be that person, to burn out, helping everybody else in the morning that he's stopping. Yeah, it's cool. But let's get into, for us personally, not even say us, let's just say me. I'll talk about me from my standpoint. Many people have trouble with an inability to help someone. You may say, why do I always feel attracted to people who have a lot of trouble in their lives? I make every sacrifice possible to them, but they still don't change. If I'm consistently trying to change my significant other for better, does that mean I'm not accepting them? Really, really valid questions. And I would say 2 out of those 3 questions I've asked myself a lot. But if you relate to any of these questions, you may have a savior complex. This comes from psychologytoday.com. At first glance, your behaviors might point to your helpful nature, but when you examine more closely, your savior complex can be psychologically unhealthy as it gives you an external outlet to focus on instead of addressing your own problems. Helpfulness is valued and is a valued pre-social trait, but there's a difference between helping and saving. A savior complex goes beyond your ability to help other people, crossing into the realm of trying to be someone's hero, be the hero in someone else's life for your benefit more than theirs. Let me go all the way back to junior high school, Lake Charles, Louisiana, S.J. Welsh Middle School. I literally, within my last, I want to say 8th grade year or 7th grade year, I had to sit down. My last class ended for me probably about 20 minutes early because I had to go sit down and talk with a therapist, or in school therapist or counselor, as they call themselves, because I found myself, because I had a lot of things going on personally for me in my life, my outlet or my way to not have to concentrate on those things were to get involved in, friends' lives at school. And I remember, I'm not going to say any names because they may hear this or somebody may hear this that know them, but I got so involved in their relationships, even as a kid, that it became so unhealthy for me because I completely lost focus on who I was. Keeping in mind, this is 14, 15, 16 years old. So I've always been this person. I just realized that. But I literally had to sit down and talk to a therapist because this was me. I found myself doing it so much to where I made problems in my own life that were not even really mine, but it was based off of the fact of everything that I was hearing or talking to or trying to give advice or trying to live out for somebody else. And it literally was killing me mentally because I couldn't concentrate on schoolwork. I couldn't concentrate on building healthy friendships because I was so concentrated on helping unhealthy relationships. and it really it stifled me educational wise because my grades dropped and I wasn't able to do the things that I needed to do. Fast forward now 2023, sometimes we still find ourselves in that same situation to where um we are attracted because we're so used to being the person to help. Even in relationships, I see a lot of times on social media where people be posting, why am I always getting in relationships with projects? People that need help, people that need assistance, people that need this, people that need that, but they're not able to give me anything. Why am I always attracted to them? Maybe it's because somewhere down the line in your life, you made that a part of you by doing so much that you didn't even realize you did. You didn't even realize you became that person. But what happened is it became a part of your identity that people notice, but you don't notice until it's too late. You only notice after you've brought this person in your life and you're dealing with what you have to deal with when it comes down to them. And you realize, I'm in a relationship with this person and I don't even love them. As a matter of fact, I don't even like them. How did you get here? That's what she said. You find yourself there. But let's talk about some ways that you can manage your instinct on wanting to save quote unquote people. Let me do this right fast, Thirsty. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Taz, and thank you for checking out this episode of the Intro Podcast. But before we get into the show, do me a favor and check out our new social network platform called Topics. Go to www.ilovetopics.com. It's motivational, it's educational, it's positivity, it's entertainment, it's news, it's everything that you need all in one app, and you get to meet some really cool people. There are already people joined. The only person that's missing is you. Go right now, www.ilovetopics.com. Now, let's get into the show. Let's go. Practice active listening. When people confide in you, they are often looking for an outlet to let out pent up emotions instead of wanting to be fixed. A big problem for many saviors is the mistaken assumption that people are incapable of solving their own issues. If you take up the practice of listening more actively, you may learn that this person is perhaps just looking for a supportive shoulder or someone who will listen. Not everybody, whenever they sit down and talk to you about their problems or they tell you what they're going through, everybody is not looking for you to be that answer. I know. It sounds kind of funny because you would ask yourself, if you don't want me to be that, why are you even telling me about this? Not everybody wants you to be their savior. Oh my God. That's for me. Everybody don't want you to be the person that puts your foot in or put your hand in or even sometimes say anything. Some people really just want you to sit down and listen. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Taz, and thank you for checking out this episode of the Intro Podcast. But before we get into the show, do me a favor and check out our new social network platform called Topics. Go to www.ilovetopics.com. It's motivational, it's educational, it's positivity, it's entertainment, it's news, it's everything that you need all in one app, and you get to meet some really cool people. There are already people joined. The only person that's missing is you. Go right now, www.ilovetopics.com. Now, let's get into the show. Wait before stepping in. Aside from practicing active listening, resist your urge to intervene. You may find that people often come to their own aid when helping themselves is the only real way out. Let me say it again. Aside from practicing active listening, resist your urge to intervene. You may find that people can often come to their own aid when helping themselves. It's the only real way out. If you try to be the fixer of all their problems, you run into the risk of unintentionally pushing them towards a sense of learned helplessness where they lose the perspective to be able to diagnose and address their own issues. In other words, just because a person says, I'm going through this, and you just feel like you know the answer, before you just jump in and say something, or before you jump in and volunteer something, or you jump in and you want to give something, wait a minute. Because what happens is this, in my words, we can become somebody's crutch unintentionally. Let's go back. We can become someone's crutch unintentionally because we can get them to a point to where they're so used to us being that for them. They're so used to knowing that I can call Troy, I can call Taz, I can call Felicia, I can call whoever you are, and they are gonna have an answer just because they've done it 3 or 4 times. So regardless if it's the 15th or 20th time, I know that every single time I've called them in the past, they have had an answer. Everything that's worked out from what they have done. So I don't even need to try to figure it out myself. Let me just pick up the phone and call or text, and I know this person comes to my rescue. You have become a crutch. What is a crutch in that mentality, Taz? It's simple. You have become the thing that whenever pain, sorrow, defeat, loneliness, needing something, you have become the person that they know they can use to help them stand. Whenever I hurt my ankle, I want to say the end of last year, and it was my first time ever really being on a crutch. Whenever I was trying to walk on that ankle, oh my God, the pain was ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I got to a point to where whenever they gave me the crutch, it made it so much easier for me to walk that even when I was healed, even whenever I was healed or I didn't have as much pain, I still used the crutch because I didn't want to feel any pain at all. Let me say it again. As I start healing with the ability to walk on my own and not use the crutch, I got so used to having it, and because I didn't want to go back and feel any pain at all, I would use the crutch because it made any pain that I would feel in the future non-valid. And that's what we do. We become the crutch whenever people understand that we can call on whoever and they'll be there. Don't become the crutch, because what happens if the crutch gives out? What happens if the crutch loses whatever the person is gaining? What happens if the crutch, the savior, loses that part of them and can't give it anymore? Then what does that person do? How is that person going to survive if they've never had to figure it out on their own? Relationship wise, friendship wise, family, work, whatever. We have to understand that sometimes we have to let people bump their head, regardless of what the pain and the agony or the loss, or we have to allow people to lose. Like Fantasia say, sometimes you have to lose to win again. I promise you. It's so the truth. But hey, do me a favor, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back in just a second. This is the Intro Podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Taz, and thank you for checking out this episode of the Intro Podcast. But before we get into the show, do me a favor and check out our new social network platform called Topics. Go to www.ilovetopics.com. It's motivational, it's educational, it's positivity, it's entertainment, it's news, it's everything that you need all in one app, and you get to meet some really cool people. There are already people joined. The only person that's missing is you. Go right now, www.ilovetopics.com. Now, let's get into the show. Hey, once again, thank you guys for coming back and listening to the intro podcast with Taz. Yes, we are going to continue to do video. It's just I wanted to get this video out. I wanted to get this episode out like right now. And we are working on the studio, and I didn't want to hold it in any longer. So yeah, we're definitely going to be back with video. But we are talking about having a savior complex, or as we talk about, or we say in the hood, being Captain Save-A-Ho whenever you really don't want to. We've already talked about. Let's go back. We've talked about a practice active listening. Listen to what the person is saying before you speak or before you do. Because number 2, wait before stepping in. If you listen to them, you may hear something that they're saying that will put you in a situation to where you don't have to step in and do anything. Because if you listen, and sometime whenever you talk to yourself or you say it out loud, you realize what you can do to help. Let's go to number 3. Hold in your urge to help until you're asked for it. One key aspect of savior complex is the ingrained desire to help even when it's not wanted or requested. Assuming that the other person is incapable of helping themselves may reflect or be perceived as a superiority complex on your end. Instead, you can offer assistance in low pressure ways that keep the ball in their court. For instance, ask the other person's questions like, this situation seems quite tough though. Is there any way I can help? Hold the urge to ask until you hold the urge to help until you're asked. I probably said this in a previous segment, but everybody don't necessarily want to have someone jump in. Notice that a lot of time whenever you want to be that to somebody, in some instances you push people away whenever you try to become something that they don't even desire. Relationship wise, friendship wise, family, whatever. You can push a person away whenever you want to include yourself into a situation in a way that they don't even want. Again, some people just need somebody to talk to. We all need somebody to lean on. That's really the truth. We do. And we don't necessarily need somebody to put their hand in rather than being an ear, rather than being a shoulder. And if we would allow ourselves the opportunity to listen to what the person is saying completely, like listen to the whole sentence, don't stop at a comma and make a comma a period. Let me say it again. Don't make a comma in a conversation a period, because sometimes we don't allow people to get the whole thing down. We be ready to interrupt whenever they say something because we feel like, oh, this is where I can jump in and I can tell them what I can do for them. Sometimes people just need to let that whole sentence run out, and that's enough. You listening to me talk is enough. I don't need anything else from you. Because what happens is this. Again, you push them away. And it makes you feel a certain kind of way whenever they push you away, because you're putting yourself in a situation doing more than they desire, but then you looking at them like, you came to me, I'm trying to help you. Why are you not taking this? Why are you not listening? Why are you not? I didn't come to you for you to talk or for you to do. I just needed you to listen to me. Seriously, that's it. Conclusion in just a second. This is the Intro Podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Taz, and thank you for checking out this episode of the Intro Podcast. But before we get into the show, do me a favor and check out our new social network platform called Topics. Go to www.ilovetopics.com. It's motivational, it's educational, it's positivity, it's entertainment, it's news, it's everything that you need all in one app, and you get to meet some really cool people. There are already people joined. The only person that's what's missing is you. Go right now, www.ilovetopics.com. Now, let's get into the show. Hey, and we are back. You're listening to the Intro Podcast. I am your host, Taz. Yes, I'm solo dolo. I know. But the show doesn't stop. I mean, hey, this is what we do, right? Hopefully we'll bring somebody in. We'll do, have a couple guests come in and talk to us and see how it works out. But I appreciate you guys for listening. Over the last 30 days, though, on Spotify, I don't know, but our numbers have spiked. And I'm just excited about that because it's just, this is what we do. And I enjoy doing it. Hold on. Yeah. This mixture is wonderful. But yeah, we are going to go back to video. As I said before, we are going to go back to video. I'm just getting things rearranged in the studio for that purpose. But today we are talking about 3 ways to control the urge to be Captain Save-A-Ho or just helping people that have a savior complex. We talked about practicing active listening. Listen, listen, listen. Like that little boy say, listen, Linda, listen. You don't always have to do something because sometimes if you listen to what the person is saying, just you listening can be enough because whenever they say it out loud, it can actually they'll actually figure it out for themselves. Number 2, wait it out before stepping in. Before you step in and want to do something or want to say something, goes back to the first thing, listen to them. Because they may not be asking you to do that. And along in their conversation with you, they may say, I just need somebody to listen to me. If they say that, take it as is because they really might not want you to do anything else. Then we talked about hold in the urge to help until you're asked for it. Wait a minute. Don't just jump in. Don't jump in a relationship with somebody who's in need because they look a certain way or they make you feel a certain way, and then you get in that relationship and you have to put yourself in a situation to where you trying to do something that's not even request. Wait before you jump in and put your hand in a situation because whenever you over extend yourself, you can push or you will push a large percentage of the people that you try to help away because in some instances they'll tell you, I didn't even come to you for this. I was going to give the perfect example. Yeah, I am. I know a young lady who her self-esteem was hella low, and she got in a relationship with a guy. And the guy knew that this young lady had like really low self-esteem. And they developed a toxic relationship, put it like that, because both of them was in it for the wrong reason. She felt like if I can get this man to give me a baby, he'll stay. She was the one in need. He told her off the top, if you have a baby, it's on you. I'm laughing not because it's funny, but I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about the story in itself. He told him, if you do this, no, it's not going to make me want to be with you. As a matter of fact, it's going to make me not want to be with you at all. But she still went along and she still had the baby. She thought her being with him was going to help him because he was in a situation where he wasn't doing the best in life, if I may say so. So she figured that she could get with him to help him. Well, by over exhilarating herself in this relationship to now having this child in a couple of months, completely pushed them away, and now he don't want to have anything to do with her at all. Sad situation, right? But that's what happens whenever you, number one, don't listen at the top of, the relationship, friendship, or whatever. That's what happens when you don't wait to see exactly what a person needs, but you just give them what you think they need, and you don't hold the urge to want to help until until to ask for it. You just jump in. You just 100% from the get go. But the conclusion is this: managing your savior instincts may seem difficult at first, but it's a learnable skill. Even though you may believe you're doing something, or I'm sorry, you believe you're doing someone a favor, saving someone who doesn't want to be saved may backfire. Wait until the person asks you for assistance, since it's likely that someone who truly need it will ask you directly. Let's go back to the top of the show with Drew McIntyre. He said, I'm done fighting everyone's battle and not being able to be 100% when I am needed to be 100%. I'm done with it. You have to get to a point that you stop putting yourself in situations, number one, that you know are not going to last. You know that it's a temporary feeling or a temporary fix. You know this. It's not new. Don't nobody even have to, whatever. You know that this relationship or whatever this situation is, you know it's not long term. Family, even with family, yes. You know that being around certain people, whatever feeling you get from them is not going to last all the time. So you have to get to a point to where you say, I need to be 100% when I need to be 100%. And in order to do that, I have to stop being 100% for other people who can be 100% for themselves. I know. You're probably looking at your phone, your computer, or you're driving in your car and you're like, Taz, so you're telling me to just don't do anything for anybody? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be aware of what you do for people, because you don't want to become the person that gives out so much that whenever it's time for you to receive, you don't have anybody to give you anything, because you've only been known to be the strength. But and the thing is, people don't realize that even strength gets weak sometimes. That's why I see a lot of people on social media and they post, check on your strong friends. Yeah, check on them. Because you don't want to be the person that's so used to jumping in, being the savior, that whenever you need somebody to save you, or you need somebody to listen to you, you need somebody to be there for you, you don't have that. Because people don't look at you as that type person. They only look at you as the person, oh, he's strong. Oh, she's strong. They have everything together. No, I don't. I don't. I promise you. I just make it look good. And that's what a lot of people do. We make it look really, really good. We make it look, because I don't know about you, but for me, I would have rather people see me be strong than to allow them to even know I had a weak moment. Because whenever you open that door, you feel like people are not going to respect you as much because they don't see you as the strong person. Well, in reality, I've learned whenever people see you strong and they see that you have a down moment, they respect your up moment even more, because they see that you have that bounce back. You're able to bounce back and be that strong person again. So then, what it does for me is it allows people to trust what I say when I say it, or when I want to do it. It allows them to trust it more, because they know that there are some times that I'm not able to because of whatever my situation is. But when I'm able to do it, when I'm able to say it, when I'm able to be there, when I'm able to be whatever that is, they understand and they trust it and they respect it so much more. I had the savior complex, and in some cases, I still battle with it. But we have to get to the point, like Drew McIntyre said, we have to say, I'm done. Because when it's time for me to be there for me, not even being there for other people, but when it's time for me to be there for me, I'm so drained. I'm so beat down. I'm so depressed. Oh, let's talk about that. You will find yourself depressed about things that don't even have anything to do with you, but you've piled on the spirits or the mentality or the situation of other people to where it weighs you down. It takes the fun out of your life. It takes the out. It takes your drive. It takes your ambition. So whenever you need all of that, it's depleted because you've given it to somebody else. Just like Drew McIntyre, whenever he gets in the ring and he fights and he beat the hell out of everybody in the ring for somebody else. But whenever it's time for him to be 100% from the start to the finish of a fight, he can't because he's still dealing with those pains. He's still dealing with those issues. What are you dealing with? Sometimes we want to be the savior because we need a savior. Let me say it again. Right after I take this sip, because that just hit me. Sometimes we want to be a savior because deep down we really need a savior. We need somebody to be there for us. And because we don't, we kind of throw it for a loop, just on my shoulders from side to side. We try to write it off as everything is okay and I'm just going to be there for somebody else. While all the time we really hurting ourselves. I don't know. Do me a favor, wherever you're listening to this show, comment if it's a link on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all under the intro podcast. If you're listening to it on Spotify, there is a poll that you can answer. And also, we're going to start including, there is a link that I'm going to put on our Facebook that if you want to comment vocally on a show, you can comment, and on the next show, we'll play all the comments from a prior show at the top of the next new show. So if you want to voice your opinion about anything that we've said on today's show, do me a favor. And yeah, we'll have that link posted on Facebook under this show so that you can click it and then have comments or something like that. But I want to hear from you. What is your experience with the savior complex, the urge to want to help people all the time? Thank you guys for checking out today's show. Do me a favor and share this on our social media. Share it, text it, email it, whatever you have to do. Just get the word out about it. Yeah, it's your boy Taz, and this is the Intro Podcast.